Truth and Falsehood by Egyptian Classical Tales, brought to you by TellStory.net. Stories from around the world. Long ago in Egypt, two brothers lived whose names defined their very nature: Ma'at, who was truth, and Jereg, who was falsehood. Jereg, envious of his brother's steady light, plotted to dim it. He went before the Ennead, the 9 great gods of Heliopolis, and made a bold, public claim. Ma'at had stolen a magnificent dagger from him. Through a web of cunning and believable lies, Jereg convinced the gods of Ma'at's guilt. The Ennead issued a heavy sentence. They permitted Jereg to blind his brother and forced Ma'at to serve as Jereg's own doorkeeper. Ma'at accepted his fate with a quiet dignity. To Jereg's growing irritation, the blinded brother performed his menial tasks virtuously and well, showing neither bitterness nor failure. Eventually, Jereg could no longer stand the constant, silent presence of the man he had wronged. He called 2 of his servants and ordered them to take Ma'at deep into the desert. Jereg hoped that without sight or water, his brother would surely be devoured by lions. But the servants, moved by Ma'at's goodness, could not bring themselves to kill him. Instead, they allowed him to escape. Ma'at eventually found refuge in the home of a beautiful lady who took him in. In time, she bore him a son. The boy grew up with his father's spirit and his mother's grace. When he learned the truth of his father's identity and the terrible injustice Jereg had committed, he resolved to seek restoration. He traveled to the city and presented a case before the Ennead. Jereg was summoned to answer the young man's claims. Certain that his brother had died in the desert years ago, Jereg scoffed at the accusation. He was so confident that he swore a solemn oath before the gods. If Ma'at were indeed found alive and blinded, as this boy claimed, Jereg would willingly suffer the same blindness himself. The trap was set. Ma'at's son signaled for his father to be brought forward. When the living, blinded Ma'at stood before the Ennead once more, the gods saw the truth at last. True to his own oath, Jereg was blinded. The Ennead then sentenced him to the very fate he had imposed on his brother, to serve forever as Ma'at's doorkeeper. The Egyptians looked upon the 2 brothers and remembered, falsehood may cast a long shadow, but it can never truly extinguish the light of truth.